Hi everyone, my name is Annie of Anniemated Productions, and today I'm here with the wonderful Michelle Amsterdam of Art of Wellbeing Counseling Services. Support systems are really good for helping us to process our feelings and
Mhm.
so on, but there are some people who
Yeah,
are
yeah,
introverts or who don't have friend groups who
yeah,
might be
yeah.
struggling by themselves, or they
Mhm.
just are very
Mhm.
they're very quiet. So how would you
Mhm.
advise those people in how to deal with this? What are some
Mhm.
coping mechanisms for those who might be more internal, who
Mhm.
process things by themselves?
What I would say is that for someone who has been assaulted, they go through a lot of emotions, right? And there's a lot of shame and embarrassment and blame happening. A lot of persons blame themselves and they feel shame and embarrassment that it happened. And there's a lot of doubt, that maybe I could have done something, or it wasn't a big thing, or, it wasn't something significant. But yet still, they're still dealing with it, with the ramifications of the entire experience. So I would say the first step is recognizing that you didn't do anything wrong, that, you're not to blame, that what this person did is wrong. They violated your space, they violated your person, and you have a right to take action if that is legal action, but you also have a right to support yourself, right? So I would say the first step is maybe opening up to someone that you trust, right? Ultimately, I feel the person should see a professional, because when someone has endured deep trauma, that is sexual trauma, or let's say rape, that can be very traumatic, and it calls for like deep therapy, like talking about it, processing your experiences. So I say ultimately recognize it's not your fault. Recognize that perhaps you do need to talk to someone about those experiences. And if you're not comfortable going to a professional like right away, maybe talk to someone in your own circle that you trust, that you value their opinion, or you feel supported by them. Ultimately, I would say, talk to a professional, because it's a process, right? It's a process. Um, Other, practical things, try to find things that you gives you purpose in life, because for a lot of people also, when they have been abused, assaulted, or raped, they think that, okay, I'm no longer significant, that I can't accomplish my goals, that I'm forever changed. So it's important to like reconnect with maybe your passions, where you enjoy, um, pursue, some of the goals that you have. But depending on the level of the situation, that's how people navigate, right? And some people are more resilient than others, right? Some people would be able to overcome it by just talking to some of their friends and they get back into normal routines. For other people, they might have gone through more significant assault. Maybe it's something that has happened through the course of their lives. One thing that I noticed with some clients is that in instances where someone has been assaulted, it wasn't just one instance, like it may have happened more than one time, right? So for persons like that who have been assaulted like more than once and maybe even raped, that's more significant trauma, and they may need to should probably talk to a professional.
So for some people who might be blaming themselves, maybe they have this mindset that, oh, I put myself in this situation, that it is my fault. Maybe it was with a friend and that they were in a particular situation with this person, and not like they were held down to do it,
Mhm.
but that they people might say, oh, it's their own fault. How would you
Yeah,
advise
that's
that
that's a good
person?
point, because even if maybe you made some unwise decisions, so regardless of if you willingly walked into the situation and at the point when the assault abuse said no, or it was against your will, it's still the fault of the person doing it, the abuser, right? Yes, because you haven't given consent. Yeah, you haven't given consent. You haven't willingly said that you want this to happen. So it's still the fault of the abuser, right? It's just when I work with clients, you do safety planning so that persons don't become re-traumatized or re-victimized. They learn how to, make better, safe decisions that would not put them in harm's way.
So in those situations when it happens and the woman may not have spoken up, or she might not have, pushed it away hard enough per se, um,
Mm-hmm.
what would you advise a person in a situation that still blames
Mm-hmm.
themselves because, maybe with the situation was so uncomfortable for them, but they did not necessarily know how to advocate for themselves at the time, and if they were to speak out about it, people would say, oh, but you didn't say no, but you didn't say this. How would you advise, young women like that?
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, let's talk about grooming a little bit, right? Because in a lot of situations, as I said, assault can happen, sexual assault can happen by people that you know, right? So in a lot of instances, it could have been a situation where your friends, the person is friends with the abuser, and they've known them for years, or some amount of grooming has happened where the person has gotten close to the victim, and they've gotten to know them, and then subtly, you know, the assault happens. In cases like that, the victim might feel, manipulated in the sense that, maybe I shouldn't say no, or feel maybe sympathy for the abuser. Like maybe this person didn't know what they were doing, it just happened, that type of thing, right? But if it's a case where strangers, that's a different scenario. But a lot of times it happens in a way where, someone, you're familiar with someone, and then something strange happens. Maybe they come a little close to you or touch you in a way that you know, makes you feel this isn't right, right? So in a lot of instances, it happens like that. So it leaves the victim questioning, did this really happen? Was I? Did I encourage it? Did I encourage it? But once again, it goes back to the point, right? That if you don't give consent, or if you feel unsafe or uncomfortable, right, then it is assault. If you feel anyway unsafe or uncomfortable, you did not say, I want this to happen, even if you didn't fight back or say anything, right? It is not your fault, right? It is not your fault. Yeah.
Michelle, thank you so much for meeting with me today. This was so informative, and I really enjoyed conversing with you on these really prevalent issues. I'm really thankful that you took the time to stay with us today. Do you have anything that you want to leave with the audience before you go?
I would just say, as it relates to assault, I was saying in the beginning that it's any type of intimidation, control, anybody exposing you to sexual content or touching you, or anything in a sexual manner, that makes you feel uncomfortable, right? Because I think sometimes it gets lost upon people what it really is, and they don't, is this something I should be concerned about, right? But I'll go back to saying, if you feel unsafe, if you feel uncomfortable, if you feel your personal space, your body, is being violated in any way, right? Or if someone is showing you something in a sexual nature that you're not comfortable with, it's all assault. It's important to speak up, speak to someone that you trust, right? And just, get support as early as possible, because there's a cultural silence in Guyana. People don't talk about certain things. And I said, especially men, if it happens to men. So the only way we can, raise more awareness is by victims speaking out, speaking to the right persons, getting support. And, that's how we'll kind of um, bring this issue to the forefront, and, help perpetrators know that, they can't continue to do it. Yeah, the time is up.
So, can you tell the audience on where they can find you and where they can get to connect with you?
Okay, so the main way to contact me, I have a Facebook page called the Art of Wellbeing CCP. Persons can message me there. My contact number is 676-8557. It's also on the page. So once persons reach out to me via WhatsApp, I'll respond, and they can set up an appointment.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Michelle. I really appreciate this, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.
Thank you for having me.